What's poppin', everybody? How are y'all doing, man? It's been a minute. If y'all didn't know, I actually just graduated. If y'all saw my recent video, I just graduated. So it's just like the end of my year was just been so hectic, and I saw all these news just like popping up on my timeline and stuff. And usually, when I see that news, I'm like, all right, let me plan out a video. But it was just too hectic, and I didn't really have time for that. So I had just kind of saved all the tabs, and I was planning for this day to be able to do this. So here we are. Before we get into it, you can see this new hoodie. So these people into the AM, they contacted me and were like, oh, you want to do this little partner thing? And I literally don't say yes, but I feel like I've seen a lot of people wear this, and I was like, if I can give y'all a discount and y'all actually do buy this stuff, why not? So with that being said, I do have a code to give you 10% off into the AM apparel. They went ahead and sent me this little bad boy. So I like the quality, man. I really do like the quality. So I can see why people really do be liking this company and do wearing it. So if you do like this company, or if you do want anything like this, go ahead and check out their website. It should be in the description. And I have a code JAMMER, just my name of my channel, JAMM3. Of course, don't forget the 3 R. Go ahead, plug that into the cash or the ending cart, whatever, and you should get 10% off. So go ahead and do that if you want. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get into the video now. Come on. So we'll be going over some noteworthy occurrences that were going on in the gaming world for the past, I want to say, like 3 weeks, okay? I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, so if it is kind of lengthy, I will have timestamps in the description below. So if you're not worried about, or you don't care about that news I'm talking about, you can go ahead and skip to that part so you can hear the one you want to hear about. But if you were a real JAMSQUAD member, you'd be joining watching the whole video, but you should join the Discord too. So first up, we have some fun stuff. All right, this is some stuff that y'all want to talk about. So for these first two things, they actually deal directly with PlayStation, Sony, whatever you want to call it. And the first one is very, very interesting. Let's just leave it at that. Interesting. So this website called T3, they made some article based off of what Sony had kind of said, okay? And the thing is with this, what they said in this article and everything is kind of exactly like what I was talking about in my PlayStation Switch video. So it's pretty crazy because I put that out about a week or two before they made this article and before all this stuff surfaced. So they kind of took, like I said, my idea in my PlayStation Switch video. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and look at it now. In that video, I talked that if Sony were to make another handheld, they would have to essentially make it the same thing as a PS5, meaning that it needs to play everything the PS5 can play. And so I wasn't sure how that would be accomplished exactly, but it was just a theory, And so these T3 people kind of took what Sony said and made that theory of mine a reality in a sense, like made it make sense, I guess you could say. Like I said, they're going off something that Sony said. So let's go ahead and go to their website and let's go ahead and see what they had to say. So skipping through all the noise, we'll just go right to what Sony says. By enabling high-speed communication, low latency, and simultaneous connectivity, 5G, which is expected to be commercialized in the near future, is a technology which we view as having immense potential, since it can connect all portable devices to the cloud. In order to fully utilize this leading-edge technology, we need to retain in-house our fundamental research capability and capability to create related applications. By continuing to work on 5G in our smartphone business, we are aiming to develop 5G technology as a competency that can be used across the Sony group. So the reason why, when they bring up this 5G notion, and the reason why T3 connects it to making a new handheld, is because this statement was released whenever they released their little quarterly, whatever, annual report of how much they made. And it showed ForwardWorks, who is their subsidiary, I believe you could call it, who makes mobile games. They're under Sony, but they make mobile games. They're not really called Sony. That department was not doing too hot, but they were saying, basically this statement was saying, yes, it's not doing too well, but we want to make sure we have a team to be able to advance it once 5G becomes, the norm, because from there we think we can do more things with it. And so the T3 people didn't say anything too crazy, but I look back at this article like a couple of days ago and they had it updated, and so they had some insight from other websites like Kotaku UK and Games Radar, and see, I know those more than T3. So this is very interesting, and they really brought it home with the theory that I brought up. They basically made it make sense. First, we spoke to Dan Dawkins, global editor-in-chief of Games Radar, to get his view. Here's what he had to say. What Sony can't do is make another PSP/PS Vita. Perfectly good, slightly underpowered, handhelds that ran almost but not quite versions of equivalent PS3 and PS4 games. And then quote, it says God of War, Ghost of Sparta, anyone? Nintendo has redefined expectations. The console is the portable. No one is going to tolerate compromised ports, bespoke file formats, or unique UIs. The joys of PS Vita's bubble menus. That's a shot at Ratchet and Clank collection. What else was there? The Jack collection. Whew, those were all very rough to say the least. So Sony either creates a portable that basically is a PS5 down to the last chip, which seems highly unlikely given the latest PS5 rumors about AMD Navi graphics technology and its relative cost/scalability, or far more plausibly, create a form of mirror portal device that runs entirely on the cloud, okay, with seamless PlayStation Now integration. It sounds absurd, but Blake's Shadowbox is trying to do something similar, allowing you to access the cloud-based equivalent of a 1,500 pounds PC for a £30-ish month subscription fee. All said, I've heard nothing about Sony working on a handheld, and I've definitely heard PS5 chatter. Sony will clearly be watching Nintendo Switch's success and mulling a response, but let's hope it's in line with the PS4's pragmatic vision, rather than previous Nintendo aping follies like the motion control DualShock controllers rushed out to compete with Nintendo Wii Motes/Nunchucks. So Kotaku UK also says something, and there's a third person that's like TechWriter. They all two more responses, but they're essentially the same thing as what this Dan Dawkins said. So I'm gonna leave it at that, but I will leave this article in the description so y'all can, you know, read it and all that stuff. And now I'm thinking about it, I might make a follow-up video to this just to bring it home, because I feel like I'm thinking about more ideas as I read that. But let me know what y'all think about that in the description below, because I think that's interesting. And I think, I forget if I said this, but what I was thinking in my head for the PlayStation Switch video is some way it could be integrated with PlayStation Now, because I feel that'll just be the easiest way. The fact that PS4 games are on there right now, you know, I think that'll be the easiest way. In 5G, listen, 4G LTE is already so faster than like almost half of average Wi-Fi is out there. So imagine 5G, bro. It's gonna be crazy. Fiber optic speeds. Like, if you don't know what any of that is, I recommend you search it right now, bro. I'm telling you, get educated. It's gonna be crazy. So the next piece of news is very techy, I guess. You know, I just graduated, man. I'm a computer science major. That's all I'm thinking about. But this one is also very interesting, and it deals with PS5 this time. So Sony has filed the patent for the use of blockchain technology in order to substitute for DRM. And what DRM is digital rights management. Basically, it's like you have your digital games and they're usually managed by a third-party company who handles that DRM, basically. But they want to stop using a third-party company and use it and then handle it themselves using this blockchain technology. So this may or may not make any sense to you, so I'm going to try to explain it. So if you don't know what blockchain is, it's actually used in cryptocurrency, and if you have any idea of what cryptocurrency is, you've probably heard the name before. And so basically what blockchain technology is, it's just a secure, it's like a database, a ledger, that's what they call it, but it's basically a database but it works on its own. And the idea behind it is that it's very secure and, in theory, incorruptible. So basically when something happens, like a transaction, for example, it creates a block, and then that just keeps chaining down with all the other transactions. So the idea behind why it's secure is because you have these transactions, basically a database, and if some people can hack into a database and, you know, mess it up. But for a blockchain technology, in order to do anything on the chain, you have to change all of the transactions at once. You can't go in and change this one, or no, it doesn't work like that. You have to change literally all of them at once. And so in theory, this is possible, but that's going to cost you a lot of processing power, which in turn is a large energy bill. So it's possible, but it's not very practical or easy to, you know, accomplish. So that's why it's very secure, and that's the main reason why people like to use it. So with this patent, Sony hopes to take DRM and take it into their own matters instead of using a third-party company. Now, in their statement, they were saying like, oh, third-party companies that, you know, they have some flaws, whereas blockchain can, you know, decrease those flaws. But honestly, to get a better idea of what this means and what it could be benefited from, I decided to go and do some research. So I found this Redditor. He made a little cool post, and it's very interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. So Adam Atomic, okay, he says, As internet speeds get faster, customers are finding it more and more convenient to purchase games online from PSN rather than going to the store. The biggest issue with buying digital downloads is that you can never return them back to GameStop or trade them in for a new game later on down the line. What happens to your $2,000 worth of PlayStation 4 purchases when the new PS5 comes out? The purchases are still tied to your PSN account, but completely unusable on your new console. By building a blockchain network, Sony can give customers a little ownership of their purchases and allow them to move between consoles or trade them for PSN credit. Now the comments kind of attack him, not really attack him, but combat him a little bit, and it gets a little interesting, so I'm gonna keep going on. So Dark Corners says, sounds like something they could do without a blockchain though, and that had me shook. I was like, oh, don't say that. Then he goes, creating secured network access for each individual customer is a lot more problematic than one would think. It is one of the many reasons why you can't change your PSN name currently. Blockchain technology would make these trivial tasks both automated and secure. No duplicating / hacking games on their network. Wow. So they kind of keep on going a little bit, and the Adam guy continues to, drive his point back. But there's one more little thing that was said, and one guy says, what do they expect to store in that blockchain? And someone else says, probably information they can offload to the users instead of taking up their server resources. So that just kind of gives you a better idea, and it makes you understand why they'd want to do that. But past that, I think there's even more stuff that they have plans for, because the technology is still young and it still is evolving. So I think it could mean cool things. For example, we could trade in our PS5 games. So if we don't like them digitally, just give them back, So I think that's very cool, and that's very interesting. We got to keep an eye on that. I can see them announcing this and showing it off in an E3 down the road whenever PS5 is released. So mark my words. What am I doing? I was pointing here. Mark my words. So next up, I want to touch upon some E3 leaks that I've been servicing, mainly the Nintendo ones, but as of more recently, Walmart Canada just went ahead and just leaked E3, man. They just didn't care. It's like, I think it was an accident, but I don't know how y'all can do that, man. I don't know how y'all did that. But basically, they had a listing of a bunch of games that haven't been released yet. You should see a screenshot on your screen right now. And some of those were Just Cause 4, Splinter Cell, Dragon Quest 2. Oh, that's Dragon Quest 2. I thought it said Dragon Quest Builders. Whatever. Lego DC Villains, Borderlands 3, Rage 2, Gears of War 5. I said God, Gears of War 5, Forza Horizons 5, and Assassin's Creed. So, at the start, it was kind of weird. Like, oh, where these come from? But honestly, few days after that, Rage 2 got officially announced. So all those games are real. So the only one that really concerned me though was Borderlands 3. It's been a minute. I've been waiting for that game. Hopefully that it's shown at E3. I can't see why it won't be. The fact that it's that much out that, Walmart has a listing for it, it's definitely going to be shown up at E3. So I have no doubts, and I'm probably guessing Microsoft's E3. They say this is going to be the best E3 ever. Chill. But for real, like I said, most ones that really concerned me was just Borderlands 3, Gears of War 5 a little bit, I'm curious of my competition, but past that, nothing too crazy there. But it was funny that they went ahead and did that, man. That's just funny. But past that, before we get into the Nintendo leaks, there's really no Sony leaks right now, man. They usually come out closer to E3 though, so we'll see what happens, but I'm not really holding my tongue, and I'm kind of chilling. So right now, mainly, I don't know what to expect really. I'm thinking of Japan Studio, because they've been talking about Teruyuki Toriyama, I think it is. He's been talking about releasing a game for like 2 years now. So I need to see it. Ray Space is a trademarked title name that has got trademarked back in, I think, December. And since December got trademarked, we haven't seen anything about it. So I'm expecting to hopefully see a new Japan Studio game this year. But anyways, if you want all that E3 talk, go ahead and peep the podcast. So in the other news, the Nintendo realm, these boys got finessed. I don't know how, but they got finessed. Basically, their E3 presentation. I'm not gonna read the whole leak, because in the whole leak he literally explains what the Treehouse Live is gonna be like. See, that is an issue with them though. Since they pre-record the stuff, it is very easy for them to leak it. So it makes sense why this guy has a whole rundown of what it's gonna be, when stuff's gonna appear and stuff. So I will leave like I said that in the description so you can read it all yourself. But I am gonna highlight just a few main points that I thought was interesting in that leak. So with this leak, it was originally posted on GameFAQs by a man named Lazy Man. But I've come to understand, man, that GameFAQs knows nothing, man. They don't know anything. They just steal stuff, because most of these real leaks are deriving from either 4chan or this new site that I've been looking at. I've been at, you know, more recently lately. It's called boards.fireden.com or something like that. So that's where the original leak actually came from. So whenever I did my research, I found myself back at this boards.fireden. I think I said it wrong last time. Boards.fireden. So I found myself back here, and this is where PapoPapo is the true actual leaker about all this information. And it's funny because the GameFAQs guy posted his version of the leak. This GameFAQs guy added stuff onto his as well, but he posted it 4 days after PapoPapo posted his on boards.fireden. So he's the real deal. He knows what he's talking about, and yeah, we'll get into it. So the main thing in this leak that I thought was interesting, it begins with where he says Spyro is coming to Switch. We knew they announced Crash was coming, and Activision owns both of these dudes, so it's no surprise there, and that's believable. You know, that's believable that they would put him on there too. Why the heck not? Think about it. But then from there, it starts to stem into some crazy stuff, and he starts talking about the new characters going to be announced for Smash Brothers. Well, I almost said Wii U, Nintendo Switch. After explaining how they're revealed, like I said, he explains what the trailer looks like and how they get revealed. Now, I can't confirm any of this part. You know, this is a little iffy, I would say. But he says Crash, Spyro, and Ice Climbers are 3 new additions coming to Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. He also says that is the name of the Nintendo Switch. So the reason why I believe this guy at all is because he basically let us know when Nintendo Switch Online was going to be announced and gave us some details that you just don't, normal person is not going to know that or is not going to guess that. So he's definitely educated. He knows somebody. That's just no question. And also, just recently in his leak, he was talking about the Call of Duty Battle Royale mode. Now, at the time he posted this, that was a rumor, I will say that, but it was just a rumor, you know, whereas this guy came and said the Battle Royale mode for COD Black Ops 4 is that's the only thing coming to the Switch. The full base game is not coming to the Switch. And really, man, I believe that. That makes some sense to me. Because think about this, man. You think about Fortnite right now. I keep bringing this up in my videos. They started out, I don't even know when, I want to say mid 2017. Nobody knew what this game was except me, bro. I swear, because I saw it and I was like, huh, this game looks interesting. And I think I downloaded it because it was free. But then to play that single player mode, you had to have bought something. So I didn't really want to get it. So I didn't download it then. But nobody knew what it was. And then they added the Battle Royale mode. I remember I was like one of the first people I saw trying it. And next thing you know, it blows up. So now really think about this. How many people do you know that actually play the Save the World mode? I'm waiting. Yeah, exactly. So you put just the Battle Royale mode on the Switch. I don't see any issues at all, bro. Because first off, Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty. Are you really about to play it on your Switch? Like, come on now. Are you really gonna look to purchase that? If out of all the platforms it's coming out on, do you really want to play Black Ops on the Switch? You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't see anything wrong with that. Even if he's just making it up, I don't even see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nothing wrong with it. But honestly, that's about the majority of what I want to talk about today. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. So I guess a few last remarks. Yeah, like I said, I graduated, so we're about to get on our shit. We're about to be on our shit because now I'm getting ready to get my life in order. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hopefully have a house whatever job that comes, because I applied hear back from 2 places. So whether I stay here or I move where that one is, I'm gonna get myself situated. I'm gonna get a whole setup, you know, everything like that. And I'm gonna get a green screen and streaming. All that stuff is gonna be, you know, down pat. You know, instead of when I was in school, it's just too random of my days. You know, I couldn't plan them out. Whereas when I'm working, I'm gonna have a set schedule and everything. So be sure to stay tuned and subscribe for that. I'm excited. Can't wait to see where we go. It's gonna be fun, and I hope y'all join me in the journey. I can't talk. Journey. But anyway, that's all I gotta say today. So hope you do subscribe, leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. Let me know as well, because I do have a Switch. I do like Nintendo, so let me know if you guys would like me to extend some of the videos in Nintendo's realm. You know, not everything, just the stuff that I'm personally interested in. Let me know if y'all would like to see that. I know some people have said that and tweeted me some comments before, so just let me know. Other than that's all I gotta say. Like I said, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Alright, we got this.
Back in this bitch while I rap for my clique. I'm a super fly nigga, never bad, never pissed. Going faster than limo. If you see me take a pic, I'm a thrash on a nigga. Let me know when I'm a hit. All my veins is gold. I'm a stranger, no. When I'm chillin' outside while you 9 to 5. Don't be asking for no cash, cause I'd rather die.